very grateful to be sitting here in the situation that we are. Congratulations to Cal Baptist. It was a great year for them. It was an excellent game. They challenged us in a lot of different ways, and we wish them all the best going forward as a program. I would like to also first thank the Lawrence community, the Jayhawk community, the Kansas City community for supporting us this evening. I believe it was an all-time record crowd, over 2,600 people. It felt like the occasion that it was. It made it feel very special. We really, truly appreciate it. We'd love to continue to get that support, and the fans were great all year. It's an interesting one because I don't think we played our best tonight. I thought we've been playing better of late, but to win an NCAA tournament game and say that, it means that the program has moved forward, and it's something we can be really proud of. One thing we did very well tonight was get off on the front foot. We stressed all week just to come out fast and to score goals early. Sage over here did just that. A pretty tough header. I haven't seen the replay, but it was by no means a gimme. Was able to direct it to the far post. Great service by Caroline over here. And then Carol had another great service not too far down after that, and Jill made a really composed scored a goal scorer goal. I wish that at the time when it was 2-0, we were totally in control. It felt like we had all the momentum. I don't know if Cal Baptist had created any dangerous chances. They scored one seemingly out of nothing, and we got a little bit shaky there for a while. But great job by Jocelyn and Faith on that third goal. I've said it twice now today. I think it was maybe the goal of the year, and just how clinical it was, how professional it looked out there, and if you throw in the circumstances and that we really needed it, I think that kind of changed the game as well. It wasn't perfect, but we saw the game for the most part on the front foot, which I appreciate, and very excited and blessed to be moving on to the next round.
Questions for the student athletes? Go ahead, Matt.
Faith, can you take us through what happened on that goal? I mean, it was their corner kick, and they're threatening to tie it, and the next thing you know, you guys reverse it, and you put it in the back of the net. What'd you see, and how much fun was it?
Yes, sir. It was a lot of fun. I just saw an opportunity to get the ball, and Joss made an incredible run and hit it to her, and then she made a great pass back, and all I had to do was finish it. So
when you stepped in to take that and turn it the other way with the counter, were you thinking, let's go, this will be a chance right away, or are you just thinking clear your end, or what are you thinking when that moment happens where you took possession first?
I couldn't really tell you what I was thinking, but definitely just do whatever I could to get it out of there and drive up the field. Yeah.
Sage, how were you kind of able to ascertain what angle you would need on that header? You had two teammates in front of you, and you ended up putting it right in the back of the net.
Read a dictionary?
Right. Yeah, can I get a definition? I really was just thinking about redirecting the ball with my head. That's what the coaches emphasized, getting in front of your player, redirecting the ball, and that's what I did. I didn't want to precisely put it in that spot, but it went there, and so I didn't really have a specific process behind it, but it worked out.
And for any of the players, how much of a boost did it end up being to you that you were able to get on the board so early in the game?
I think it's a big boost. When we get down one goal early in a game, it's not fun at all. So being able to do that to another team, it's just good momentum to go into the rest of the game.
Caroline, I'm not sure if you know, I don't know if you pay attention to this kind of thing, but you tied the single season record for assists. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about something like that?
Yeah, that's I think it's an awesome accomplishment. I'm proud of myself for doing that, but I'm also just thankful for my team for finishing, because it's not an assist unless they score on the other side. So just trying to get another one in the next game, hopefully, and just keep going through the season.
Is that a mindset of yours going into games? Are you looking to get more assists and goals, or just anything that benefits the team? What is your game plan when you go in?
Yeah, I try to get assists because that just benefit the team, but just trying to get the ball in dangerous spaces, play what's on, just play the game more than just trying to get the assist for myself, but it's nice to get them.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
Faith, you had your first goal in the first game and you get one in the NCAA tournament. What's it been like, I guess, waiting for the next one, and how gratifying was it to have that payoff today?
No, it was really an awesome feeling. But like just celebrating with the team after really makes the moment very special. So.
Faith, your freshmen on this team have had such a big impact all year, you included. What do you make of that? Did you know that you guys would come in and have this big of an impact on a team that would end up being, you know, a host team in the NCAA tournament and a 3 seed? I mean, did you have a feeling for that, or has it just kind of happened in front of you and you're riding the wave?
Yeah, I mean, this class is definitely special. I mean, all these girls in my class are amazing players, and so I know that if they go in the game, they're definitely going to change it for the better. So.
Carol and Sage too, can you both talk about the impact of your freshmen really throughout?
I can speak on it. Yeah, I think everyone on this team just knows that they have a role and you can't count anyone out, and everyone's so important to this team. And so whether you're a starter or a game changer coming in, like everyone makes such a big impact. And I think all the freshmen have stepped up and really fulfilled those roles.
And then Carol too, you think about last year at this time, you know, you got in the crazy run through the Big 12 tournament, really the whole end of the season, and you go over to St. Louis and you lose a tough one. And now you sit here with a 3-1 win and at home, and it was pretty convincing. I mean, are you able to take that in, how different that is than last year, and that you're still playing and maybe have a lot of play ahead of you?
Yeah, I have a lot of confidence in our team and going through this tournament. And I think last year after our loss, we kind of like regrouped and were like kind of upset over it, obviously, but we were waiting for this moment. Like looking back last year, like we were looking forward to this moment again and getting that opportunity again to be in the NCAA tournament. And I'm just grateful that we're here and got the win and excited to move out to the next game, which I think is away in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So
We're going to Duke.
yeah.
Any early thoughts on that? Just traveling instead of?
I mean, hosting's always fun, but it's part of the game. It's part of the
Right.
season, so just gotta do it.
Also open to any of the student athletes. Obviously, very awesome to see you guys get an NCAA tournament win. That being said, I'm sure you guys have bigger goals than that, just getting the one win. So what's the biggest takeaway you guys have going forward?
Sage, you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. I think every game, just giving our all. We like to call ourselves a relentless team that has a lot of grit, has a lot of pride for KU, and so literally just giving our 100% effort every game. And I mean, our goal is to ultimately make it to CPKC at the end of the tournament. So whatever we can do to get there, we're just gonna give our all, give our effort.
Anything else for the ladies? All right, ladies, we'll let you step
Thank
out.
you.
And
Thank you,
take
guys.
questions for Coach.
Thank you.
Great job, y'all.
Thank you.
And then there was one.
Thank you.
You've been known to talk about how goals change games, and you mentioned after they get their goal out of nothing, it did seem to change a little bit. How do you think the team was able to settle back in after you conceded the first one to them?
I don't think we settled in particularly well after we conceded. I think that was our roughest stretch of the game for about 10-15 minutes. Cal Baptist was energized. You know, it's interesting because when I talk about did we play well, did we not, and you talk to someone who knows soccer, we might have a different opinion than them, and partly is because we know as coaches like what the coaching point is, what we talk about in video, what we emphasize, and there was a stretch there where I think we were missing on a lot of those things. Obviously the opponent can impact that, but we have to, going forward, do a better job of when momentum turns against us, how do we make winning plays to change that momentum?
To follow that, you already talked a little about Faith's goal. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on what you saw there and obviously how massive it was in that moment?
Right, I do believe it came off of a defensive corner, or at least
Yeah.
we were pinned in some
Right.
way. The first thing you have to do is win the ball, clear your lines. Oftentimes then the attacking player, the forward, is pretty isolated and numbers down. And so if they can, just keep the ball first, right? You're probably gonna get double teamed, you might get back pressed, can you keep it? And that's where Faith did a really good job of getting to the ball first, keeping it, and then finding that simple pass is what we talk about. So she found that simple pass as Jocelyn started joining her, and we're still only probably at midfield or so, I haven't seen the replay. You know, it was right in our line from the bench, and so you could see that window was open to play it back to Faith. But those windows at this level, this time of year close pretty quickly. And so she probably had margin of error of like one touch or less, and she played it at the right time, at the right weight. And then at that point, I think it's like success or failure oftentimes depends on that first touch. So as the ball gets back to Faith, her first touch going toward goal, kind of sealing the defender, is vital. And the reason I thought the goal was so big outside of just the circumstances is those windows weren't big, and we were just sharp on all phases. And if one of those phases isn't so like well executed, then we probably don't score.
Sure.
Yeah.
And can you jump on the question that I asked Carol about just that the difference between last year at this time and this year at this time, and just being here now, and you know, it's only a year's time, but how far do you think you have come in that year, and how far can this team go?
No, I mean, I remember sitting doing the same press conference after the St. Louis game. It was no fun. It's part of it, but it's no fun. And so as Caroline said, you know, part of our goal was to make it back here, and then we wanted to win it. We didn't want to have that same feeling. Not too dissimilar to the Big 12 final less than a week ago. I do think that experience served us well. You have to sometimes have a little bit of adversity in order to grow, in order to understand what it takes. You know, I think this year, I think we felt different kinds of pressure last year and this year. Last year it was the unknown, and that can be a little bit, it can feel weighty. I think what felt weighty this year is the home match, the big crowd, and probably like, we all know Cal Baptist is a good team. We showed the scout, we showed how they're dangerous they were, but we were probably expected to win the game. And that is a different seat to be in. And we've been the underdog. I love that role. We thrive in that role. It energizes us. It's a little bit different, you know, if we can use the term holding serve. You know, that's a different responsibility. And I think we can embrace the underdog role. I know that. If we're able to play for a little bit, I can't wait to get back to that side of things. You know, I think in times it can be more challenging to be in the hold serve role, and maybe that felt maybe that slowed us down in moments today. We talked about as coaches, like, is there anything that we could have changed or done differently to maybe lessen that feeling? Maybe not. We'll think about it. We'll reflect on it. But the important thing is that we got here. The important, I think, very much keys to the game. Everyone who asked me all week, I did say early goals. So even if we didn't play our best game, we hit some really important check marks that allowed us to find success.
All right, Coach. So usually you guys are a really quick, aggressive, get up and down the field type of offense, but tonight, at least at the beginning of the game, you guys were more slow, definitely more tactical. What was kind of the reason behind that decision?
Yeah, I think when people ask us, right, what our style of play is, it's pretty easy for me to answer out of possession. We're a pressing team, and we'll do it as much as we can, as high as we can, for as long as we can, as consistently as we can. That, you know, this team actually didn't allow us to do it that very much. They didn't play short on any set pieces. You know, they were looking to counter in one or two passes, which makes sense. I think another thing they did is, for all those like soccer people out there, they were sitting in a relatively mid or low block. And so they weren't pressing our center backs. They were letting us have the balls in certain spaces and then trying to take away spaces, but those were deeper in the field, right? The middle of that field, they didn't want us to be playing through. They wanted to stay compact. They didn't want to leave space behind. And so in that case, if we tried to play into certain spaces, I just don't think it would be a good idea. And that's where they were trying to probably counter out of. And so we had to be patient. We used the word recycle. You probably heard me yell it about 1,000 times. I don't know if they did this on purpose, but there seemed to be more space on the heading down the left as well. And so we had to kind of figure that out. You don't know how the other team's going to defend you. You don't know what spaces they're going to give, what spaces they're going to take away. I think our team did an okay job. Like, I actually thought we were relatively decent in the build for the most part. I know the fans don't like it, you know, and I think that's a little bit of, I understand it from their perspective, but you can feel like a restlessness sometimes. But like, hey, they can blame it on me because we want the triggers to be obvious of when we move forward. And usually in order to do that, we would have to create 2v1s out wide. And that's how we scored our first 2 goals, was advance up the field. One of the best players in the country in serving the ball, serves it from a place she's very comfortable. And, you know, we took those goals pretty well too. I mean, we had better chances, quite honestly, against BYU and that we didn't score. And that's why it's so important that that we score, take advantage of those opportunities, and why I always say that goals change games.
And then Coach, I wanted to add one more. You mentioned the record crowd earlier. You've had a couple of those this year. There was I think it was third highest ever against Florida State. I think it was second against Kansas State. And all the credit in the world to the players, but obviously you've done a great job at elevating this program the last 2 years. So I just want to know a little bit about how you're feeling right about now.
Yeah, all credit to the players and all credit to the KU staff. Like, they're the ones who drove ticket sales, sent out the emails, beat the bushes, made everyone aware, gave the promos, free entry for students, like, got employees out there. So whether it's Drew and Kristen and their team in marketing, or Jason and Dawn, or Travis, or like all the leadership here at KU, they helped make this happen. The players got us here. They got the players hopefully play a style that people want to watch and support. How do I feel? I feel proud. I feel proud of our team. I feel proud of our community. I feel proud of this athletic department. We intend to make this program something that, in our world is special, something that other people can be proud of, and brick by brick, right? So whether it's laying a foundation to be successful on the field, whether it's learning how to play in the NCAA tournament and growing there, but we know, like, I've been here long enough to know that this place will support their athletics teams. I was at the first baseball game last year, and I was at a bunch of them, and sold out. We went to the softball games that were sold out right after I got hired against Oklahoma last year against Texas Tech. So even not just basketball, football, when like the volleyball, I think when they went to the NCAA tournament last year, sold out in 2 minutes, right? And that similar number here. So the community will support KU athletics. We're taking steps to get in that group of programs that hold a certain standard, hopefully put on a good product on the field. And then again, like, we want to just be a team that we carry ourselves with class, and treat the game and treat our opponent with respect, and just represent this university well.
Coach, I asked Caroline about her tying the record. What are your thoughts on that? How does a player like her, with getting this many assists, impact your team and how you guys play?
Yeah, I mean, she's I use the term personality player, where I was not a personality player, right? So it's not a knock if you're not one, but we have our collective is where we find strength. Our bench, we can plug someone in. We feel like we won't lose much. Lydia, our goal scorers over in the Big 12 tournament, Jocelyn with her first one, Kenzie Hammondry with her first one, Lydia with her first one, Faith with her second. But then I think the best teams have that unity and have that well-roundedness. The best teams also have personality players. We just lost to BYU with the kid scoring her 16th goal. We've played multiple teams, I think, this year with players over 20 goals, and I think there's 3 in the whole country. And so that's why they're still playing, right? That's partly why those teams are still playing. Caroline is a personality player for us, and it looks different than most. It's not like she's not banging home goals, she's not dribbling past the whole team, but teams have to game plan against her, right? Because the way our formation is, usually she's between lines, and if you step up to deal with her, we're going to play the ball beyond you. If you stay, she's going to have the ball and going to probably put the ball, she'll serve from deeper areas of the field than most people can or will. And so there's a reason the kid plays 90 minutes for us. It's not just because she's the fittest kid on the team, which she happens to be, but it's because her skill set is so unique and so valuable, and she plays the defensive side of the ball as well. And if you saw today at a couple of their most dangerous counters, she was the weak side player, which means if the ball was kind of advancing up the right, a lot of times those players become undisciplined and that gap becomes too big. We preach it all the time, like tuck in, tuck in, tuck in. You never know when, and this time of year, like, those could be game-changing plays. And so Caroline's a special player. All the recognition which has come her way and which will come her way, she absolutely deserves.
I know you've been hard on yourself as much as anything about giving these fans a show and something they want to watch and come back and watch. And you said earlier in the week, the hallmark moment thing. Did you deliver it tonight? I know an attendance record sure sounds pretty close. And
Yeah, well,
an NCAA tournament
no,
win,
I,
pretty close. Will you count it?
I'll probably look back a couple days from now, a week from now, and be like, 2,600 people, 3-1 win. It is so hard to win this time of year. I don't know what the official stat is, but it's not a ton of times that this program's got NCAA tournament wins. It's not, there's nowhere really, or not many places. So yeah, like in the end, it's a special moment. A flaw of my personality, someone that makes me hard to be, to be your coach is, we hold people to a pretty darn high standard. I also like to think we hold ourselves to a pretty high standard as coaching staff, and I don't think this was anywhere near our A game. I felt there was a moment that this game, respectfully to Cal Baptist, could have been a 4, 5, 6-0 game. It could have just had like a different rhythm, a different energy, where it wasn't just us seeing it out. That is best case scenario. That is wishful thinking this time of year. Like their whole job is to not let that happen. But yeah, it's a great night. I'll look back on it fondly. I wish we would have been cleaner in certain moments. I know that we have to be going forward.
Coach, you guys are off to Durham next week to take on either Louisville or Kentucky. I'm curious, have you done any preliminary scouting, and what's kind of the mindset when you're about to go on the road for what is hopefully going to be a little bit of a longer road trip?
Yeah, all right, so we might have a geography lesson here for those who don't know, okay? I spent 15 years straight in Southwest Ohio, okay? And Cincinnati, Ohio shares a river with Kentucky, okay? So you walk over the river into Kentucky, like my wife and I got married in northern Kentucky. And so my point being, like, UK and Louisville were very, very, very much just a part of our life there. When I was at Xavier, we played a thing called the Spring Cup, which was a spring mini tournament with local teams, and those teams were always in it. My last 2 years at Xavier, we played Louisville, same coaching staff with Karen. The coaches now at UK came from Milwaukee. Their last game they coached at Milwaukee actually was beating Xavier in the NCAA tournament with Coach Nate on the sideline. And so I laugh at them. I say, it's not true, but I joke around and I'm like, hey Troy, you can still thank me and send me my thank you gift for helping you get this job, in UK. So know those programs really well. I think Louisville's taken a really, really big step forward this year. They've shifted some things around, and I saw them play Florida State because I was just watching the Florida State thing. I watched them actually play Duke in the ACC tournament. Every time I flip on Louisville, they look really, really good. That's a strong team. I haven't seen UK quite as much. I know I'm pretty familiar with like them because of the coaching staff. But I turned on the game in the SEC tournament against Georgia, which they lost in, I believe, PKs, and I thought they were, clearly the better team for most of that game. So I'm glad that they're playing tomorrow, and we could just sit back and watch, and we'll watch it and we'll scout it, but it'll be with a much more relaxed lens than had I been watching it today. Either team's going to be really good. They pose different questions and problems, but yeah, each round you go to, it's hard to be like hoping for a team because everyone's good at this point.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Okay.